I feel as though we're not done, as though somehow I am not making myself extremely clear. Okay? Let's try this another way. Francis Ngannou does not need Jon Jones. Can we agree on that? This is predicated on a statement I just read by Stephen A. Smith, who came out and said Francis Ngannou knocking out Stipe Miocic is the single greatest thing that's ever happened to the UFC. Now, Stephen A. did not finish that thought. And I don't know if that's a country of origin. We now have 3 African-born champions. I don't know if that was it, but I speculate because I've seen that narrative. Is it because of the Mike Tyson-esque knockout appeal of Francis? I don't know that, but I've seen that narrative. So I'll speculate that it could be. Is it because of the mysterious of Francis Ngannou, right? I mean, one of the great things that Francis has right now on his side for marketing is we don't know him. There's a reason that Vince McMahon doesn't let Brock Lesnar speak. He has Paul Heyman do it. And the reason is Vince McMahon believes monsters don't talk. But he's also gone in the world of entertainment, which is largely based on how well you can cut a promo. And he's taken his biggest star, doesn't let him do any promos. So I only bring to you that there is a time and a place. And what is it about Francis? I don't know. But I tend to agree with Stephen A. Smith that having Francis on top of the bill, particularly in the perennial division of all combat, which is heavyweight, is tremendous. There's not a wrong way you could go with Francis right now, guys. You could put him in there with a mop. He's going to do great numbers. And you have to really understand this. Francis does not need Jon Jones. There is no other fight at heavyweight that is compelling for Jon Jones, which means there's no other fight that's compelling. He left 205 because it just wasn't interesting. It wasn't drawing. It wasn't selling. Jon, arguably the greatest fighter in the sport, is the number 8 draw in the sport. So Jon was willing to take a bigger risk. Good on Jon. I want something different. I'm going to do something different. Great for Jon. But the spot that Jon's in, he has to have. Nobody else can step to the table and all of a sudden, oh my God, let's see that instead. Jon versus Curtis Blades. Jon versus Volkov. Jon versus Alexei Olenek. I mean, there's no way that you can do it at heavyweight where you get the same result as Jon versus Francis. Francis isn't in that spot. So imagine it from this standpoint. There is a public negotiation going around. Let's say you're Francis and you get the call one day, it's done. We got Jones. You're going to sit back and go, okay, well, I know what you had to do to get him because he told the world. I don't need him. He needs me. You guys don't need, none of us need him. But if you're calling me and telling me that you want him and that you got him, that means that you appeased him. So now let's talk about my deal. I mean, right? Do you see where this gets very problematic and gets very dirty very, very fast? Let's say Jon was to go out there and beat Francis, but you've done a public negotiation, so we all know Jon's going to need an opponent. And whoever they call, you don't think it's going to be something along the lines of, I know what he's getting for equal work. You see where this becomes a problem? You see where a guy's numbers need to remain his numbers? You see where people want to say in this sport that we need to be mainstream and treated like mainstream. But you would never have Tom Brady on any given Sunday against the schedule, however it played out, refuse to take to the field. And if he did, it wasn't because he was counting that guy's money. You don't ever want to do business with anybody that's counting your money. If you ever have a partnership and you're counting his money, you're not a good partner. Simple as that. Are you happy with your deal? Great. Is he happy with his deal? Can we make a deal? Great. Everybody sign here and I'll meet you on this date. That's how it works. And if you run into any roadblock or any conflict along the way, you have the wrong guys. The Olympic Games are every 4 years. 4 years. There has never been somebody on top of the podium with their country's flag and the anthem going and the world standing at attention. And somebody else is in a living room and goes, you know, I could have done this. I decided to sit this Olympics out. Never has it happened. The gold medal will go to the gold medalist every time. And I don't know that I could say that about the silver or the bronze. It'd probably be most of the time. I can think of a couple of years where a guy that could have been right in the hunt, but he'd already done it and he was giving somebody else a chance. I can think of those years. I will tell you right now, the right guy, the best guy will always show up, no matter what. He will make his walk and he will get his due. The right guy in the heavyweight division will show up. The other medalists, I don't know. I don't know. I can't always say that. But the champion would never sit out the games. The champion would never sit out the match. The champion would never compare himself to his opponent, and the champion will never count your money.